All right. All right. All right. All right. Matt, how are
Good
you doing?
morning, Nicholas. Good morning. Thinking
Yeah.
about you all night. I know you live in Georgia. How is everything with you and your family?
Well, thankfully, everything is safe and I won't say dry, but safe and dry, kind of. No flooding for me. But I'm really thinking about all those people in Florida. Have you seen the video where there's this aqua fence, Matt? Have you seen that video? It's
I
just
haven't.
insane. Look at this. So this is the a floating fence that they put around the hospital, and you got see all the water, and then you see the guy on the side. Like, look at this. This is Tampa, man. I'm telling you.
I know. It's
I
crazy.
Yeah, it's been so thinking of all the people and all the folks that are in this area right now, hoping everyone is safe. Certainly, probably not dry, but I'm hoping that that's yeah.
I know it's serious. So we're talking about Hurricane Helene landed out southeast of Tallahassee this morning. Winds at 140 miles per hour when it landed.
Yeah,
Thank God by the time it hit landfall, it started to slow down. It was a Cat 1 by the time it hit Georgia. So I think it's kind of slowing, but I think the entire East Coast is going to be affected, even as far west as Ohio. So we're thinking of everyone, especially on the East Coast today. Stay dry, stay
yeah.
healthy, stay well.
All
So
right.
I know it's a kind of a
Let's
somber way to start, but we have to
yeah.
acknowledge that.
Well, let's start on let's see what we're gonna talk about today and bring some more positive
Yes.
energies to the conversation. So, everyone, today we're gonna talk about four topic: consumer confidence, Mercado Libre. Don't forget the South American market. Really interesting. We're gonna talk a lot about groceries and what's going on in groceries and why is video commerce, what's happening in this space, and then more interestingly, or I don't know if it's more interestingly, but we're going to be talking about Zara and a special live show that they did recently. What? Let's go and kicking this show. Oh, wrong button. All right, everybody, this is Nico with Eastreamly, the company that gets you on live stream and video commerce on your website, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are, your video is shoppable. So excited to be here. I am here with my great host and great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC and HSN. And we have, as I mentioned, a lot of topic to cover today, a lot of going on. Matt, why don't you start and tell us what the show is about?
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in. This is called the VCommerce Podcast. We talk about everything related to e-com and video commerce, the storytelling video platform that was invented through direct response television, infomercials that graduated into QVC and HSN. And now you could shop through your phone, your tablet, your computers, all kinds of ways through video commerce storytelling. So we try to touch on a couple of topics, 4 topics normally each week, just hot things that are related to video commerce and e-commerce. So again, thank you very much for tuning in. One of the first story that grabbed my attention, and we talk about this consistently, and we always want to update everyone on, what's the consumer thinking and how are they relating back to e-com and v-com and general retail. The story I read this morning was consumer confidence is down or was down in September, marking the sharpest drop in more than 3 years. So America doesn't know about what's going on with the labor markets and with the politics, and everyone's kind of holding their purse strings a little tight today. However, Americans are projected to spend $240.8 billion online between November 1st through the end of the year, which is over an 8% increase, which is crazy to me. And I think this all relates back to Nicholas. Halloween is always October 31st, but Thanksgiving is late this year. So
Yeah.
once we get to Thanksgiving, we're 3 quarters or more through the holiday season. So if you're not already thinking about fourth quarter and you're a retailer or you work through retail, you should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure everyone has received their flyers for Christmas already. I think Amazon sent them out last week, and then we got to a Walmart one, I think, a couple days ago. So the holiday season is coming. It's here, and people like brands and commerce are getting ready. obviously, that's that we are really in the core of this. So it's going to be, what confidence is, as you say. What I think it was interesting when the consumer confidence is being down, we still see that growth on e-com, and I think it's really talking about that digital transformation, and as people really embracing more e-com and e-com. So if you're an e-commerce merchant today, great for you. You have you're gonna ride the wave of the growth, but don't forget that the market is hurting out there, and just so be sure about your offers and how you're gonna deliver value, how to make that a good thing for the consumer. But not everything is as, how can I say, as I won't say bad, but as complex
Volatile.
than
Volatile is a good
volatile
word.
than the confidence from consumers. There are some good news in the market, and one of them being Mercado Libre. So Mercado Libre, for the one that don't know, is like what called the Amazon of South America. I'm pretty sure that we consider them that way, like Flipkart when we were saying the same thing about them. So, but think of it. This is a really big platform. They have generated 5 billion on Q2. So they're a public company. 5 billion in Q2. You know what's more interesting about this is that they had a 42% growth just on that Q2 number. If you think about it, 42% out of of growth out of 5 billion, that's a lot of billion. That's a lot of billion. Interestingly, not only had growth, but they're quite a profitable company, 14% profits. So this is, and I was reading some article about those guys. It's a company that is not only growing, they are clearly saying that the South American market for e-com is still still a very low penetration. It's a very fragmented market, very low penetration, and they're riding the wave. And so the point I want to bring on is, if you're struggling in the US market because you have too many competition or anything, don't dismiss the South American market. There are plenty of companies out there that can help you bring on your product to South America. So this is a market that is growing and flourishing, and Mercado Libre might be a good partner. The other thing of that is they are very big with video commerce. We talked about before, they actually one of the strategy. They are not so much into the live stream, but they're really doing a lot with video for retention, for engaging the users. So this is certainly a player that has embraced video as well and is continuing growing. So a really interesting market to watch.
I didn't know anything about Mercado Libre before you introduced it to me. Amazing, 42% growth on $5 billion revenue. What happened in the second quarter at that company? Like what was there? Was there a South American holiday or something? Why were people buying such at a rapid pace? Other than everyone adopting the e-com platform in that part of the world. So I love what you're saying. California here in the U.S. is such a innovative state with we all learn from the West Coast on innovation and technology and what's coming across the country. And obviously Mexico's right there, and there's an easy transition with California companies into South America, probably easier than other parts of the U.S. So it seems like, to your point, your advice being pay attention to what's happening down there. It's working. And they're selling a lot of, I was on their site once I read your newsletter and saw the story. A lot of U.S. owned brands are selling down there. So it's a great space for reach out.
Absolutely. So don't forget about the South American market. Plenty of opportunity there. Just go and explore. It's a 25-year-old company. So this is not like a company that popped up out of nowhere. This is a company that has been there for a while and is growing quite fast. I saw some of their, they were showing some of their facility and logistic infrastructure they have is pretty massive. Think about, they cover the whole South America. So this is a pretty vast territory. And yeah, very low penetration. So they have some quite interesting challenge as well. So congratulations to them to be profitable.
You know what I love to know, and I'll do a little research myself, is their shipping, their logistics. Amazon prides themselves in getting you the product sometimes within 24 hours, but definitely in a day or two. I wonder how their logistics works.
Yeah.
Does the consumer get the product quickly? Because that seems to be the key now. In impulse purchase and impulse gratification. You order the product today, you want it tomorrow. So they must be doing a good job, like Amazon does, to get the product to the consumer quickly.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that, and then I'll stop there, but one of the things that I remember talking with a guest that was in South America, I think it was Paul from, it was someone in South America that was ordering through Mercado Libre. The delivery, when the guy come and to deliver at the door, they don't leave it at the door. They actually ring, and you have to go and run to get it, because otherwise he's bringing back the good with him. So
really,
yeah. So that
you
was
have to be home.
You have to be home to, or someone has to be there to actually collect the good. Apparently, they don't leave it to the place. So at least that's what the guy told me in Ecuador. So I don't know.
That's interesting.
Country, but yeah, very interesting difference there.
Very interesting. So a topic I wanted to talk about, and I don't need to be negative today, but I am so fascinated by grocery, and grocery is a big category at QVC and HSN. Video commerce, grocery, and food and kitchen have just exploded over the last decade, and a lot's happening in grocery, and it's some of it's not so not so great news. In a recent Gallup poll I read, only 33% of Americans said they have a positive view on the grocery industry. 33%, which is a record low for more than 2 decades. So America is not feeling good about going to the grocery store. They're not satisfied when they leave. They spend too much money for too little food. And what's leading a lot of that kind of conversation and kind of alarming factors is egg prices. So anytime things happen with the economy and the world, as far as the U.S. is concerned, milk and eggs are kind of the standard, right? Milk and eggs are standard. Everyone has milk and eggs no matter what's going on. Egg prices spiked by 28% in August from 12 months ago, easily the biggest increase ever in any food item tracked by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. 28.1% in August. So obviously a lot of this has to do with the bird flu that happened this summer, but it's a major problem with grocery. All the while, Kroger and Albertson are trying to combine. So the government's getting involved. There's trials happening. That could be a $24.6 billion combination of grocers. So the small guy is going to get squeezed out. With these large companies like Kroger and Albertson killing that kind of dynamic, are their prices going to go up because they kind of own the dynamic, own the industry? It's crazy right now. And the last thing I'll say is, like, I've been following, I'm not sure, Nicholas, you've seen this, like the Boar's Head deli meat story. Boar's Head is like the premium deli meat across the country. 119-year-old company, the biggest deli meat brand in America by a long shot. And they're going through an awful story where 10 people died from listeria eating their ready-to-eat meat products. So they're going through all this. They're not saying anything about it. It's turmoil in the grocery industry right now.
Yeah, and it was not, I think, to their defense. I mean, not to their defense, but it was not a meat product. I think it was like one of those fermented, like vegetables that they offer. But bottom line, this is devastating for them. And I have been working with some of those people per past, and I feel very. I have visited that plant actually a long time ago, so I know this story there and everything, and it's certainly heartbreaking for those folks.
But hey, and then what happens to you? Like, what happens to you, the consumer, trying to feed your family? So I think it's crazy. You could talk about supply chain and a lot of other combinations, but we have to eat.
Let's turn this into a positive spin. Grocery is a great opportunity, as you talk for QVC, and then for video commerce. So this is the fresh market. They're doing a regular live stream. They're leveraging a technology that is not an streaming technology, unfortunately, maybe one day. But why not? And so they have a regular show and I think, and they have, like, as you see, tons of chat, right? Tons of engagement and everything, and all about. And why is that? Is because people love to see food shows, and then food show where you show a recipe, it's super engaging. So kudos to the fresh market for putting this together. They have those regular shows. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to spin around some of the narrative out there and make grocery sexy again. I think video
No,
commerce can really help you to do that. So
it's a great video commerce dynamic. Heat and eat is a common phrase that we use, but like showing what the product is, how you make it, all those kind of shows. Food Network, Cooking Network, they're very, very popular. So
yeah,
I agree. It's kind of crazy right now, but the video commerce space, if you're in that space, if you're in that CPG world, considering video commerce to tell your story is a great
yeah.
opportunity.
Talking about video commerce and talking about brand, we have a lot of video to show today. Sounds like we have another one coming up. So Zara, for the one that don't know about Zara, this is a very famous European brand, and they started their another stream from themselves in select countries, including the UK, the US, Central Europe. It was featuring Cindy Crawford and her daughter. It was they were leveraging their latest style, the autumn-winter collection. And it was directed by a filmmaker, David Lowery. It was a 35-minute show. My take on this is the show is absolutely stunning. It's really exciting to see and beautifully made. It was live streamed. Now I will say that during the chat, it was mostly in English. So they were doing a global show, and they was having some challenges with the different language to be managed. So that was some of the downside. But my biggest concern with something like that, while I think the show is stunning and everything, I am a little concerned with the overproduction that this show has. And maybe it's a one-off and they are looking at reducing the production down the line. But my concern is that if you are producing a show like that with celebrity like that, yes, you're going to get eyeball, but are you going to get the actual excitement and sell that you are expecting from a live shopping show? And my concern with that is that if you're not expecting and you're not getting that, what is the management going to think about this? And so, uh, are they going to slow down or are they going to double down? And so, really, I think it's all about getting that ROI positive. And I just want to I want to, highlight this because I think it's a great example. But at the same time, I know so many brands when they think about live shopping, they're thinking it this way, and I do think that this is very hard to get ROI positive on. And I don't think that live shopping is specifically this for the masses or for the audience. I'd love to hear your take on this, Matt, because you've been in this space for a long time. Maybe it's a combination of different style, but and I mean, don't get me wrong, this show is stunning, it's awesome, it's engaging, it's beautifully made. But my concern is the management looking at this and saying, let's go live every day when they do that?
Right. So Zara is a major European company, as you mentioned. It's not as well known here in the U.S. The fact that the show wasn't translated across all languages is really an issue for me. Honestly, I love Cindy Crawford and her daughter comboing on the promotion because that happened. That's happening a lot now. So Cindy Crawford's got her own audience. It's more of the Gen X or maybe a little younger. Her daughter obviously connects with the young consumer. Denise Austin and her daughter Katie do the same thing. They're both big on social media and they sell different products. So I love the mother-daughter combination kind of storytelling to try to grab two different generations of consumers. But to your point, you don't have to break the bank on the production to sell product through video commerce. And they did that. Now, this can open up a whole different conversation about you could elevate it to that Hollywood level if you wanted to and make it a full feature film in doing that. That's not the day-to-day operation of what we think video commerce is. It's a daily activity. It's kind of a, you wake up with it, you go to bed with it. It's video commerce constantly. This is probably took months in production and a lot of time and effort and energy and money were spent on this production. And did they get the bang for their buck? Did it
Yeah,
work?
and the reason I wanted to highlight it is because very often when you start talking with fashion brands, especially at a certain size, they are thinking it big production, people, legal, and all of a sudden, I think the challenge with that, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is beautiful, it's a great project, it must have a lot of fun doing that for the whole team and everything. But then bottom line is while you're doing this, now you're involving this whole organization, making all those things to be perfect. And then at the end of the day, you're looking at it, say, okay, well, you got a really beautiful and stunning piece of content. You probably have definitely got impression, got sales, but was it worth the all effort? And then the management is probably looking at it and say, okay, well, you see, you spent 6 months working on this for one show. You can do the next one in 6 months from now. What we're saying is like, what if you scale down your production and do more show? Because that's when the ROI is going to drive. And I will say something here last. I was talking with a colleague of mine that is operating on TikTok Shop, and they are working with many brands. And what was interesting from that conversation is they were telling that they are now in a place where they have it so polished and so run up, and from an ROI perspective, that it's more worth it for them to actually put more hours on the stream than to actually run ad. And so the matter, they are running an 8-hour stream now on TikTok, or they are about to run an 8-hour stream on TikTok. So I really want people to think about this. That is if live shopping can have the power of running ad and be more ROI positive, and now what those people are doing is like just putting more time and effort on it. I think this is where I believe the future should stand and go. I mean, that's what QVC has been doing, and they probably started as a 6 or 10 hours a day, and then they extended to 19 or 24 hours, right? So I think that's where that is going, and I think the brand that are thinking it that way are the one that's going to be groundbreaking this whole ecosystem.
Right, and I will give a note of cautionary tale. A contact of mine through LinkedIn, Mary McKenna, or Marcy McKenna. Marcy McKenna runs the Live Shopping Academy. She posted this week about how her content was kicked off of YouTube. And I think the lesson learned is you have to be on multiple levels. You have to be on multiple sites. You can't put all your eggs in one
Yeah.
basket. So going back to Zara and the idea of video commerce, I think obviously we've talked about this and we preached this before. Owning your own content is the most important thing. Having it on your own website and having it under your umbrella, your control, is the best way. But then also experiment with TikTok Shop. Also experiment with Instagram Live. Also
Absolutely.
experiment with QVC and HSN and any other live shopping dynamic. But have something of your own, because you never know what's going to happen on these other platforms, if they're going to go away, like TikTok Shop may go away, or if something's going to happen where the site kicks you off for one reason or the other, and then all of a sudden you're losing content, you're losing audience, you're losing followers, and then in the end you're losing revenue opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, Matt, this was another awesome episode. We are here every Friday to talk about video commerce, the video commerce news of the week. Please follow us on LinkedIn, where this is Matt Hodlofski, and then my name is Nicholas, and you will also find us on Extremely, the handle of Extremely. One shout out I want to do, and for any entrepreneurs, any marketer out there that are listening. So last week, someone had mentioned, like for many times, that we should be trying the LinkedIn newsletter. So we did roll out a newsletter on LinkedIn. The all current newsletter, we did roll it out on LinkedIn, and I've got an amazing result. We got 137 new subscribers out of absolutely nothing, just by putting the newsletter out there just in one session. So encourage any marketer that are doing newsletter today to just try it out on LinkedIn. Very surprising result. I was like just blown away. People have been telling me that we should be doing that. So this is my shout out for today. This is a shout out for LinkedIn for doing that. Thank you for doing this. We are here every Friday. Please tune in, share, comment, tell us what you like, what you didn't like, and what can we do better. We also on YouTube as well as on the live e-commerce podcast. Thank you, Matt, for being here. And
thank you,
stay
Nicholas.
safe and dry, everyone.